Hey there, everybody. I want to interrupt Dana DeBevois, the Travis County Clerk, because Democratic nominee Joe Biden is about to speak in Wilmington, Delaware, and I want to take that for you all now so that we can listen to what he is saying. So, again, here is former Vice President Joe Biden talking about Election Day and those results.
Of, by, and for the people. It's very much alive in America. Here, the people rule. Power can't be taken or asserted. It flows from the people, and it's their will that determines who will be the President of the United States. And now, after a long night of counting, it's clear that we're winning enough states to reach 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. I'm not here to declare one, but I am here to report that when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners. With all the votes counted, we have won Wisconsin by 20,000 votes, virtually the same margin that President Trump won that state 4 years ago. In Michigan, we lead by over 35,000 votes, a substantially bigger margin than President Trump won Michigan in 2016. Michigan will complete its vote soon, maybe as early as today. And I feel very good about Pennsylvania. Virtually all the remaining ballots to be counted were cast by mail. And we've been winning 78% of the votes by mail in Pennsylvania. We've flipped Arizona and the 2nd District of Nebraska. Of special significance to me is that we've won with the majority of the American people. And every indication is that that majority will grow. We have a popular vote lead of nearly 3 million votes, and every indication is that will grow as well. Indeed, Senator Harris and I to win more votes than any ticket in the history of this country that ever won the presidency and vice presidency. Over 70 million votes. I'm very proud of our campaign. Only 3 presidential campaigns in the past have defeated an incumbent president. When it's finished, God willing, we'll be the 4th. This is a major achievement. This is a major achievement. And it's been a long and difficult campaign. But it's been a more difficult time for our country, a hard time. We've had hard campaigns before. We've faced hard times before. So once this election is finalized and behind us, it'll be time for us to do what we've always done as Americans. To put the harsh rhetoric of the campaign behind, to see each other again, to listen to one another, to hear each other again, and respect and care for one another, to unite, to heal, to come together as a nation. I know this won't be easy. I'm not naive. Neither of us are. I know how deep and hard the opposing views are in our country on so many things. But I also know this as well. To make progress, we have to stop treating our opponents as enemies. We are not enemies. What brings us together as Americans is so much stronger than anything that can tear us apart. So let me be clear. We are campaigning as a Democrat, but I will govern as an American president. The presidency itself is not a partisan institution. It's the one office in this nation that represents everyone. And it demands a duty of care for all Americans. That is precisely what I will do. I will work as hard for those who didn't vote for me as I will for those who did vote for me. Now, every vote must be counted. No one's going to take our democracy away from us. Not now, not ever. America's come too far. America's fought too many battles. America's endured too much to ever let that happen. We, the people, will not be silenced. We, the people, will not be bullied. We, the people, will not surrender. My friends, I'm confident we'll emerge victorious. But this will not be my victory alone or our victory alone. It'll be a victory for the American people, for our democracy, for America. And there will be no blue states and red states when we win, just the United States of America. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
There you have Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris leaving the stage after making some remarks there in Wilmington, Delaware. What they are saying right now, what Joe Biden is saying right now, is that he believes his campaign will receive enough votes to secure the 270 electoral college votes needed to win the U.S. presidency. Again, Joe Biden is saying, quote, "I am not here to declare that we've won, but I am here to report when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners." He went on to say that it's clear we're winning enough states to reach 270 electoral votes. He further pointed out that in Wisconsin, his campaign, he himself and Senator Harris are leading there by more than 20,000 votes, in Michigan by more than 35,000, and he said he feels good about Pennsylvania, citing that his campaign believes he is winning 78% of the votes by mail, which remain to be counted at this point. He also says that he's flipped Arizona and one of the congressional districts in Nebraska, earning him one electoral college vote there. And he also pointed out that he and Senator Harris have won more votes than any ticket, citing that the vote count is more than 70 million votes for the two of them. We will be tracking this. This just happened a few moments ago. Obviously, you saw there Joe Biden coming up to the stage to speak. At this very same time, the Trump campaign has signaled that they're filing lawsuits as well as demanding a recount in Wisconsin, despite that 20,000 vote or so advantage that Joe Biden has in that particular state. We will be following all these developments there. I know all of you are wanting some more definite answers in these particular races, so please stay with us here at KXAN. More results will be on our website, KXAN.com, and on the KXAN News app, so you can follow it there. Once again, Joe Biden is speaking and saying that he believes when all the votes are counted that his campaign will have enough votes to declare victory in the U.S. presidential race and secure 270 electoral college votes needed for him to take office. Earlier, we did hear from Dana DeBevoise. Turning back here now to home, the Travis County Clerk is saying that we saw record turnout for this particular election. She said that there were 607,521 ballots cast in total, which again is a record, and that is more than 70% turnout, what she called rockstar turnout. That was her words there. She said that there will be some runoffs to talk about, one for the Austin Independent School District's Board of Trustees position for District 8, as well as City Council races in District 6 and 10. Those runoffs will be held on December 15th. We have more reporting on that coming out later today, too, so you can stick with us for additional details about those particular runoffs. But again, a smooth process at the polls here in Travis County. They were saying it's just been been very well and smoothly as well. So again, that was a lot to take in from both the Travis County Clerk and also Joe Biden speaking from Wilmington, Delaware. You can keep it with us for the latest details about election results and races, so please stay with us. Once again, I'm Will Dupree here in the KXAN Live studio. We appreciate you joining us. Please stay safe and stay healthy out there. See you next time.